Good morning. Hang on. I found it. I was trying to figure out which screen was not muted. All right, we found it. Hey, the echo is gone, although sometimes a good effect. Welcome into Flying with Mike. On a dreary day here in Pennsylvania, just south and east of Pittsburgh, to be exact, we are at Allegheny County Airport prepping for relatively short flight, especially with this little guy. The C90, it's a King Air, one of the firsts, but I don't think the first. But may have been the first turboprop, who knows? But not a big carrying aircraft other than the price tag for fuel in the tanks. But we're going to fly down to Morgantown, and then seeing how VATSIM's going and all, because Cross the Pond, yes, is on. They are departing. I saw them out of Detroit. I'm sorry, correction, Dallas. And that's the only one I think I saw where a long trail was coming out. So if you go on your favorite VATSIM flight tracking software, yeah, aim yourself, just first off, take in the globe. There's so much traffic. They're already, as of about 8:15 my time, Central U.S. time, over 3,000 connections already. That's pilots, controllers, observers, the whole gambit. It will grow as this grows. And the Atlantic will fill in. We're not getting near the Atlantic. Sorry, folks. We are not crossing the pond, especially in this thing. It'd be, let's see, go from Boston to Greenland. Well, I don't even know if we could make Greenland. We may have to stop in Gander or out of St. John's or something like that. Then Greenland, then maybe we could make Ireland, and then obviously into the Scottish area of the UK before getting down there. Basically, it'd be a good long day of flying, and I do mean the event would have been already over by the time we probably got to Greenland. So anyway, great aircraft in front of us. This is one of the default aircraft that comes with X-Plane 12. So I've had a lot of fun. I have a little annoyances with this plane as a flight simmer. Now, as a pilot, obviously, I've never even been at, well, yeah, I have been in the cockpit, but I've never had to do anything other than learn how to shut it down and learn about things in the cockpit from a firefighting standpoint. So I don't know if the annoyances I have in a flight sim would carry over as a pilot. The aircraft I flew, everything was on the panel. And here you're going to find, well, all aircraft, you're either above or below. But primarily, most of what you as the pilot, co-pilot need right in front of you. Not down below you and not above you. Above you and below you help get you started, get your flight set up. But the action is always in front of you so that you're always able to see out the plane. Hey, even at 30,000 feet, folks, there's planes that could hit you. So you're always looking for traffic. Even with the mighty TCAS and ADS, you're still putting them eyeballs out there if you can. If you're into clouds, well, that's a whole different story. Makes it even more important to be in front of you. Hence why the famous HUDs have come available, have been available in many of the airliners. Again, puts all that information, everything in front of you, not elsewhere to look. All right, enough on that. Let's get to work. Like I said, we're outside of Pittsburgh on a gloomy, gloomy day. You know what? I'm going to just start from here. Let's bring in Elevatech, shall we? Now, I know a lot of you know I love Sim Toolkit. I haven't fired it up in a couple of weeks, I think. Yeah, maybe it has been a couple of weeks. Um, to see if he's been able to update it. I've also been watching for any announcements to come out. There is a fix so it won't crash your sim to desktop. They're one of the plugins that will do that. If you haven't downloaded their fix plugin. So he says he's going to get around to getting us a new version or a new update. Hasn't, as far as I know, has not happened yet. So we're reverting to Elevatech. Not a bad tracker. Where my huge love of Sim Toolkit is in the landing performance data. That's what's lacking in Elevatech. And I don't know if, many pilots are like me that likes to dig in how far down the runway, how far off the center line, and how was the pitch, the roll in these various different states of flight. So the good thing is when we fly for Pan Am or Piedmont or American, they're on this system called VAMSIS, which will, in the PIREP, give us a lot of that data. Sometimes too much that they can gig you on, but, hey, that's kind of the fun here. We're not, hey, I got 10,000, I actually have, folks, nearly 14,000 hours on VATSIM. You don't hear me talk about it. Why? What's that going to get me? I'm in it for the fun. I'm in it for the love of flying. The hours that I put in here, that's great. Now hold on. If VATSIM wants to pay me, I'm all ears. So, but beyond that, I mean, okay, I can walk into Starbucks like I never would. And no offense to Starbucks, but I'll get to my point here. And go, I got 14,000 hours of flying time. They're going to look at me and go, okay, it's still $12 for your coffee. See? All right, enough fun. Let's get to work. So you can see just how short this flight is. Let's pull it up. Detail. Okay, why? Oh, there we go. Like, why did it not load? Oh, whopping 50 miles we're going to put on the plane. But we're going to fly a whole whopping 17 minutes at 8,000 feet. Hence, 8,000 feet in a short amount of time. It's a little speedy plane, so we'll have fun. And then, like I said, we'll see what kind of damage we can do out of there. Kind of waiting to see what's going on in the household this Saturday. While the wife works. Looks like if you look right here, you can see it looks like maybe a bunch getting ready to come out of DC. Here's some of those tracks. Let me just kind of let you see this. Here's one going to Europe. Here's another one tracking up. Here's another one. Where'd these guys? Atlanta. Kind of figured that one. This is the oddball. Chicago not in it. Mainly, reason it really catches me off guard is a lot of times it's like second in the busiest airport in the world, next to Atlanta. Actually, the two flip. Depending, I guess, who the bean counter is. But I guess other airports are taking Chicago's notoriety away. So that gives you an idea what to be watching for. Here's another train. Here's one coming out of Mickey World, Orlando. Again, Miami none. Wow. So you get a hint what these tracks look like, and they're going to eventually be out over here in MOS. You can see it almost looks like if you were to turn on, say, flight radar or flight aware. While this is just VATSIM, take this and expand that solidness of traffic across the US. That's what it would be like right now. But let's zoom back into our little world. And there's one thing I don't like. You get in too close, you lose the weather. But yeah, we're just going to Morgantown, and then we'll take a peek and see where we'll go next, if time allows here in the household. All right. We've looked there. We've looked there. Let's get rid of Saitek. Today's flight is 3 people aboard. We've already done the weight and balance. Now, for the default aircraft, you do have to go up to flight and use the weight and balance. So keep that in mind. It's not hard at all. The passenger planes are easier because you do it by number. The only problem then comes in weights may not match, but they'll be pretty close. So basically, you're looking at a cold and dark aircraft with a pilot shivering inside. But to Laminar's credit, they've done a really good job. You'll see here in a minute. Oh, let me slow that down so you all can get a good look at what this plane looks like on the outside. Yep, we're right by the hangar. I figured what we could probably do is call this a flight out to, say, pick up some people and then figure out where we're going to go from there, if, again, time permits. But a really well done exterior. It also is backdropped quite nicely by the heavens with great weather effect. So yeah, there you have the walk-around inspection of the C90. Let's get inside, shall we? All right, let me put a camera here and swing us around. Hey, look, we're not sitting on milk crates. Sorry. An old... All right, let's just get back here. You know, the fact that we have an interior in here is one thing. It may not be, you know, super luxurious, but you know what? It's not bad for, first off, a default aircraft in a flight sim. That is just not bad. Of course, y'all will go, well, we should have people in it. Well, some of the people in flight sim kind of scare me, so I don't think so. I'd rather not. Have you ever looked at some of the people they put in them seats? Oh, yeah, they're scary. So I think they got them out of the movie Halloween or Friday the 13th or one of those. Nightmare of Elm Street. Yeah, they get kind of scary looking. All right, cockpit. Now, what are my annoyances? Well, the biggest one is right here. So much so, I've actually made it a... Actually, I'm going to adjust that. Or did I have it set there for a reason? No, I did not. Reason being... Perfect. Your autopilot is all here. So you want to sync. Syncing is perfect. All you got to do is push the button. But if ATC says turn right, heading such and such, you got to lean down and do this and not look forward. It's just in the flight sim, it's cumbersome. I'm sure in the real plane too. And there was a gentleman that made a really good mod for this plane in X-Plane 11. Does not work in X-Plane 12. Tried it, burned it up every time. Sparky went down every time. What he did though, and Laminar, if you're listening, simple, put a coarse heading bug button or a knob right here. That was probably, of many improvements he did to the plane, the best one for flying it on auto. There's not a lot you can do about having to come down here to kick on the yaw dampers, the autopilot, and each of the selections. But that in itself, instead of having to kind of, whip it like this and then hope you're getting it, you get the point. So, but other than that, they've done a great job. Now, I'm beginning to hear whispers of X-Plane 13 out there. I don't know releasings or anything beyond the whisper, meaning there are vibes out there beginning to aim us to maybe a new sim. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Hopefully that, it'll be what everybody wants when it comes out. We all know it was coming. When is always the big question. Hang on. Trying not to cough in your ears like I did yesterday. Oh, that was horrible. Sorry. All right, let's get this beastie all fired up and roaring down to Morgantown. Hawker, hawker, hawker. Vibes for sure. Welcome in, Hawker, one of our moderators and requester of this flight. Blame him. No. He can take it. All right, to start this plane, we use a checklist from we found it at X-Planes forums for the BE90B procedures. It's a good checklist. It's a little in depth in some of the things we don't do, but it's nice to see it. So we've done the exterior look, cabin doors closed, locked. We've loaded the baggage, loaded the weight, and checked the CG. Now, what does that mean again? Come up here, click here, and right here. Click done when you've got it done, and it'll actually probably say apply to flight. Control locks removed. Well, we went one step further. Who needs control wheels? Come on. So we got rid of them. I can hear the pilots going, gosh, I wish I could do that. Yeah, I could say that in the Cessnas and the Pipers I flew way back when. Wish I could have done that. Parking brake is definitely set. And circuit breakers. Not many, but they're all in. Yeah, a whole bunch. Y'all coming from the tube liners, guess what? They don't have as many in here, but they have quite a few. I lost my check. Okay. Fuse checks, oxygen. All right, let's take a look at our fuel panel over here. Nothing's on because the battery's off. So let's get over here. And yeah, the nicety of quick clicks help us out here. CB's in, firewall check. Now, one thing I have noticed with this plane, the proximity of the clicks with some of these can open just the covers, but does not do anything with the shutoff valves. Okay, just a heads up for y'all. All right, crossfeed open, even though it does not say that. Boost pumps on. Wait a minute. Oh, I turned the wrong thing on. There we go. And see, the funny thing is now it says battery on. What? Okay, fuel looks good for the flight. Pressure, we should have a low pressure light going off up here. We do. There it is, cross feed. Actually, we do not because the fuel pumps are on. And inverters are off. We can now fire detector check. We do not have that switch. That other X-Plane 11 version, that did include a fire fire detector check. Okay, call signs, FCBs on. Nav lights coming on. And let's commence to getting this beastie started. Can't remember if I could open that or not. I guess not. Clear props. All right. Back down here. I go ahead and just turn them both on. Ignition. Got to get the full effect here. See the props easily spinning up. There is debate out there about putting these to full. And that's something that FSX did not do. Proper propeller, how they start up. Oh. Okay, oil pressure, weight, ignition off, generator. Okay, and go there. Oh, I'm way ahead of myself. I forgot the, I didn't forget. I was just like, I'm doing a lot of stuff. Go ahead and turn that off. Watch that prop. Isn't that just awesome? The other great thing he did is you could actually move these together. And you can't. And we're above 50. That's off. Okay. Inverter on. Oil and oil pressure. What was the other fuel pressure? All look. trying to figure out a couple things here. And everything's okay. After start, avionics on, cabin temp to auto, fuel control heat. Got bleeds on. Hang on a second. All right, hang on. One more. There we go. All right, everything's clear. Oh, the battery came back. Okay, hang on. All right, let's try that. Let's get the facade. Here is another little interesting thing. And we're going to 8,000, so we'll set, actually, we're not even going to need that. Okay, now you're going to see where it gets a little, oh. All right, instruments, we're going to DME on. Okay, I'm going to try to fly this. Well, we'll have to fly an instrument, but we'll see how we do here. All right, do we have anything out of Allegheny? 110. Now, you can set your navs here. Oh, wait. How about I turn that on? How about I file a flight plan? All right, just putting in some required data. Oh, and we are hitting our first stumbling block. Okay. Hang on a second. It said the flight plan is out there already. I know it isn't unless it did file. Okay, so it is indeed already being used. Okay, we'll just do that. And that'll change it. Now I just have to remember it on my side. All right. All right, and we'll just have to wait for everything to fill in. All right, so there is only one 19875. I hope it doesn't cause us issues. If it does, we'll have to disconnect. Should not. Okay, good. All right, I just happened to look up at VATSIM, at the Sim and or X Pilot, and we should be okay. Let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. X Pilot. Okay, if you look up here, COM1, we're looking to be on 119.8.875. That's Cleveland Center. However, we only have 2 decimal radios. A pet peeve of mine, I don't know whether to aim it at VATSIM or Laminar or both. Because there are some people's...
Roger Control, good morning. It is American 112 with you. American 112, Cleveland Center, welcome. Lufthansa 149, maintain best forward speed, please. Say again, 149? Lufthansa 149, maintain best forward speed. Best forward speed, maintaining 149.
Okay.
Navy 961, say airspeed.
Airspeed.
One in Cleveland Center, WestJet 1222 with you, passing 16,800 for flight level 230. WestJet 122, Cleveland Center, welcome. Climb maintain flight with 350. Climb maintain 350, WestJet 1222.
Anyway, as I was saying, you can see where that could be an issue. Let me get that out of here so we don't echo. All right. Original Godspeed. Welcome in. Long time no here. Just hanging out in the hangar, huh? But hey, welcome aboard. Now you can change the VOR frequency here or here. Okay, and Morgantown is 1-1. Okay. And that's where some of my problems were. Okay, we just need to get our heading. And this is where it gets challenging. Cleveland Center, King Air, November 431 X-Ray Sierra at Allegheny, request clearance to Morgantown. Standing by, November 431 X-Ray Sierra. Let's take a look here. Well, if that'll get me going here in this soup, we'll go VFR. Copy that. That's not my problem. $5103 direct John B. Departure with you. November 431 X-Ray Sierra. 28 for departure. I'm like, yeah, here's the problem. I mean, I'll go VFR. I don't care. Actually, okay. Cleveland Center, November 431 X-Ray Sierra, ready to taxi 28. We know the way. Via Alpha, cross 31, November 431 X-Ray Sierra. No. You guys want to fly the pond, you're gonna have to stay. That's where the problems come in with the pond. Okay. Flaps set. Boost pumps on. Engine instruments all good. Before takeoff, pitot heat. We're ready to go. November 431 X-ray Sierra. Clear for takeoff. Runway heading 431 X-ray Sierra. $5103, sorry.
Banking.
And Cleveland Center, November 431 X-ray. That was 5103, right? Direct John B, up to 8,000, November 431 X-ray Sierra. Why aren't you turning? I thought I pushed you. Okay, sorry for the quietness. There's a couple bugs I've found. Make sure I'm not missing something up here. Okay, this could turn interesting. Well, wait a minute. Maybe it's set it. That's close enough. Cleveland Center, November 431 X-ray Sierra, ready to descend for Morgantown. We'll do the ILS since it's pretty soupy up here. Oh, I'm sorry, 1-8. My bad, sorry. Okay, cleared ILS, cleared to land, 1-8 at Morgantown, 431 X-ray Sierra. Let's get this thing down. This thing's still locked in. Maybe not. See what happens. Okay, we're joining. All right, we broke out. We're cleared to land 1-8. Oh boy. All right, folks, again, sorry for the quietness. We're not going to be flying this one on a second flight. There's a couple of bugs I found. I'll walk you through them here in a minute. Okay, where are we on this ILS? I don't have a glide slope. That would be why. Well, this is proving very challenging. All right, we're still not seeing a runway, but (2203-431 X-Ray Sierra), thanks. All right, I am not seeing an airport. I think I got something.
1000.
Well, looks like a couple of radio towers are a little high. Ouch. That was an ouchie. And center November 431 X-ray Sierra off 18 at Morgantown. Great job. All right, via discretion 431 X-ray Sierra. Straight ahead. I have no idea where I would park here. Obviously, that's the terminal. I don't even know if they still use it. I think we'll just park way back here. All right, not a lot of chit chat on this one. Got an airplane that's buggy. All right, I'm gonna check a couple things. First, all right, here's the bugs I've found. I found one of my bugs. Finally. See how this is? Well, that's how he made this HSI. And such an... Let me just see. Will it? No. Still no glide slope. Yeah. Okay, so this is not working. Hang on, let me just read. Yeah. This is how you're supposed to be able to. Just making sure. Yeah. So this is not working. The outer ring is working, but the knob itself is not. So what I could have done is switched over and landed it maybe this one. So, yeah, this was a buggy flight. Let's go ahead, shut her down, call it. We're not flying this plane again. Why they did that, I don't know. Maybe there's another switch or two I need. But let's get him off the radio. Okay, that'll help me out. All right, so let's shut this thing down. I've been kind of going through it, auto ignitions. And I've set up a lot of quick. Okay, we can turn the anti-ice off. Okay, ignition, ice protection, all off. Yeah, my passengers are getting really upset with me. Trim set, transponder off. Let's see here. Strobes are off and shutting it down. Transfer pumps. On, off. Crossfeed closed. Inverter off. Auto feather off. Sync off. Here, I'll be nice. Okay, and sub panel off. Avionics. Boost pumps off. All right, and we're set. Okay, there you go, folks. That was an interesting... Oh, we still got a light on. How did we do that? Okay. All right. So there's the King Air, folks. That was, whew, look at that slope. Oh, that would be fun on snow and ice. Wow. Well, welcome to West Virginia. Everything's out in the hill country. All right. That was definitely interesting. Now you got a little taste of Cross the Pond. Hopefully some of you might try it the next time it's out. There is a Discord channel. Kind of do VATSIM Cross the Pond, and that'll get you, to how to get on that channel. And then pay attention as they go through the year. Rumor has it once a year is all they're doing this. And just a heads up, DC has 6 channels on VATSIM. I think Boston the same. Yeah, it's a busy, busy deal. Let me see. Let me do this real quick because we're going to end up here anyway. So you can see some of the Dallas traffic. I'm going to pan out some of see the different lines. It's just incredible. And looks like they're going high this year. Although there's some running low tracks. So yeah, it's intense. I mean, think about these guys up in here. They've probably been on already 3 hours to be able to make those departures. There's a guy doing it right, concording it. And yeah, they do have Concord routes. So for those of you that don't want to spend 8, 10, 12 hours flying the sim. So, but anyway, we came here more for us. How bad was it? It had to have been bad. 430, 77 knots. Okay, we got that part right. It was just rough. Nothing seemed to want to work with the avionics in it. So something I'm going to have to go back, look, see where my thinking is and where it's supposed to be on this plane. Because obviously it's not where it needed to be. So according to this, we did 430 feet a minute, 3 Gs, which I'll attest to. My passengers are grumbling, telling me I shouldn't have wings. Well, I don't have wings. Angels have wings. I don't. So, wow, special. Oh, so we dropped to 6 miles, light range 1700 as of... No, we broke out where they said at about 8,000, about 7,000 at the highest. So we weren't a problem there. It was the visibility. Well, the plane was the visibility and the pilot. But nothing was, I mean, what do you do at that point except get vectors? And you ain't getting vectors from that guy. He's way overloaded. I'll be honest, one thing, if you guys across the pond are serious about this, okay, if he wants to claim the 23,000 or higher, great. Leave it open to us on Unicom or CTAF. That's how it's, there are some tricks in Europe that could work in the States, especially with something like this. So that controller, I apologize for my screw ups. I mean, I totally botched that. The aircraft itself was botched, and I thought it was fine. So yeah, we had a great flight, challenged, both by the plane and my very few flights in it. And actually, I've flown this plane quite a bit, so I'm not sure what Laminar did. I'll have to really get into it and figure it out. But I can tell you right now, Laminar, if you happen to be catching this, The nav display, well, let me just go to external power, kick us on. Avionics. Did I leave that switch on? Oh, I did. Okay, and flight director. Did everything? No, everything has not come up. What the heck? Something's wrong. Didn't bring up the GPSs. Huh. Okay, not certain now what's going on. Obviously, something weird. Because yeah, we're not getting anything on here. Huh. Whatever I did, fix that. Well, we can't test some things. All right, well, dang it. Interesting. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up here. Actually, let's see. We're going to stay off VATSIM. So bear with me a second here. I'm going to bring this in. And hang on a second. I'm looking at Elevatech here. Okay, let's take a look. Basically, the East Coast, you're going to find a lot of people. Wow. They didn't come out of LA or Denver either. All right. Well, you know what? I am just going to call it, and I'm going to come up with something. If I do, I'll come online. If I don't, we'll call it. But I want to thank you all for being with us today. It was a fun, challenged flight as expected, but we still managed to have fun. So you all have a great day. I'm not going to sit here and hold your day up. So we will be back if we find something. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next flight. God bless.